Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a real important topic, how to navigate the costs associated with cochlear implants. Cochlear implants can be life-changing for people with significant hearing loss like me. But let's be honest, you're here today because you know the starting cost of $10,000 per processor is daunting. But never fear, you found me. The good news is that there are several ways to manage these expenses. We'll break down options such as insurance, vocational rehab, and community resources. Okay, so first let's talk about costs. While this video is focused on the US and expenses may vary across the world, like the NHS in the UK and the SSN in Italy, it's important to understand what's really involved. While you might hear figures of $10,000, that often just refers to the cost of the internal sound processor. The internal, the internal device itself, the surgery, pre-testing like MRIs, CTs, lab work, activation, programming appointments, and auditory therapy all add up. The total cost can range significantly, often between $60,000 to $100,000 or even more in some cases. So how do people pay for this? The most common route is insurance. Most private plans, including the ACA Affordable Care Act, as well as Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Insurance Program, typically provide coverage for cochlear implants if they are deemed medically necessary. It goes without saying that sometimes your healthcare provider may need to appeal with your insurance to get coverage, but that topic is for a completely different day. However, most coverage often includes the device, surgery, and related services. Now, coverage doesn't always mean 100% paid. You'll likely have costs such as a deductible, the amount you pay before insurance starts paying, co-insurance, a percentage of the cost you pay after meeting your deductible, copay, a fixed expenses for services rendered, and now that leads to the term out-of-pocket max. Out-of-pocket max, or also known as an out-of-pocket maximum, is the most you will have to pay for all covered services in your plan year. And to keep this simple, we're going to focus on this amount. Why is that? Simply because of the high price of cochlear implants. Now, because this is the US, no insurance plan is the same, and out-of-pocket costs can widely vary. So hypothetically, if your maximum out-of-pocket cost is $5,000, that means your new cochlear implants will cost you $5,000 if you have had not any other medical services done. If you have had other medical services done, such as lab work, breaking a bone, or having a baby, your estimated out-of-pocket costs for cochlear implants may be lower because it likely means you've been billed for these services already. It goes without saying that this is a very simple explanation, and it's crucial to check your specific plan details to understand your potential estimated out-of-pocket costs. And if you're still confused, don't worry. The good news is you don't have to figure this out alone. You can contact your insurance provider directly or work with the Cochlear Implant Center. They have financial counselors who are experts at navigating this and can work with your specific needs. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't have any insurance, or what if I don't have enough money to pay my out of pocket costs? Am I out of luck? There is another potential option. Let's look at vocational rehab, often called as Voc Rehab or VR, and I'm going to use VR going forward. State VR agencies help individuals with disabilities, including hearing loss, to prepare, secure, retain, or regain employment. If getting a cochlear implant will help you achieve your work or educational goals, yes, even college counts, VR may be able to provide financial assistance. Now, eligibility and funding vary by state, so you'll need to contact your state VR agency where you live to see if you qualify and to see what support they offer. And if you're unsure if you qualify for VR, let me tell you, There is no harm in reaching out anyways because every situation is unique. Don't underestimate the power of community support. Many nonprofit organizations and charities are dedicated to helping people access hearing technology. This goes without saying, but this is not a personal endorsement to me. But I'm going to share some examples to help you with your research. This includes foundations specifically focused on hearing loss or cochlear implants, like the Cochlear Implant Awareness Foundation or Songs for Sounds. Civic groups like the Lions Clubs, Rotaries Clubs, or Sotomas. Local churches that may have discretionary funds to help with medical bills, and any other organizations that offer grants, financial aid, or even guidance on fundraising. You can often find lists of these resources through organizations through the Hearing Loss Association of America or the American Cochlear Implant Alliance, or by simply asking your audiologist or cochlear implant center. So to recap, while the cost of a cochlear implant is significant, you have options to explore. Understand your insurance benefits, especially your out-of-pocket max. Explore VR if the implant relates to your work or educational goals, and research community organizations and charities for potential assistance. Getting a cochlear implant is a major life decision, and I know this. But managing the financial aspect of this is part of the journey. So be proactive, ask a lot of questions, and utilize the resources available. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. Share your experiences or questions in the comments. Thank you for watching.